Hey everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm glad you're here. Today I'm going to show you how to make a simple set of thank you cards using the thin cut set called For You. Okay, so for this particular set I'm going to use brush strokes and it's still available. However, if you want to use background elements, you could probably get away with using that. Okay, so you'll need some pieces of colored cardstock with the coordinating ink colors. You can pick any colors you want as long as you have the ink and the cardstock in the same color. And then you need some black and some white. Okay, so I'm going to die cut thank you a whole bunch of times using black cardstock. Okay, so I'm going to do 3 layers of each thank you. All right, so I've done this off screen and I've glued everything together. So there's 3 layers of black cardstock for each of the letters YOU and thank. Okay, so I have a piece of white cardstock cut at 3.5 by 4 3/4, and then black at 3 3/4, and 3 3/4 by 5, and then the colored cardstock is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to start out with periwinkle, and I'm going to use this large brush stroke stamp, and I'm going to stamp it out twice. Okay, so you can see that white spot there, and it's okay. I'll fix it later on. The letters are going to cover it, so it's okay. But if you want to avoid having voids in a solid color stamp, make sure that you push all of the air bubbles out when you load it onto your block, okay? It's the air bubbles that are making those white voids. So if you make sure you don't have any air bubbles, then you won't have that happen, but it's okay. I'm going to have my sentiment is going to cover it anyway, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and layer the periwinkle cardstock down with a white border around it. I'm just using Tombow tape runner, and then I'll layer in the black, and then I'll layer in my stamped piece, and then I'm going to glue my sentiment down using some wet glue. Okay, sorry this is off camera, but just gluing. So I'll stick that down, and then I like to start with the O to kind of center it. I'm not being precise here, but I'm eyeballing it, but it's easier if you start with the O and then work out from the center. So then I'll add my Y and my U, and they're getting a little fussy. Don't want to stick there. That works. And then I'll add the U. And there's that finished card. Simple, but clean and brightly colored, depending on what colors you choose. Easy set of thank you notes. Okay, let's do another one. This time it's going to be with Sundance, and I'll walk you through creating 2 of them, and then we'll kind of skip ahead for the other 2 colors. So off camera, I have pushed that air bubble out, so now this time I'm getting a clean stamp. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and build our card. I have my card base. I'll put that piece of Sundance down. And even though it's a landscape card, I like to start out doing it portrait style. For me, it's just easier to make sure it's centered and on there straight. Then I'll add black. And then I'll add my stamped piece. And then glue down my sentiment. Okay, now we have the Sundance one. I love this pattern if you need to bust out a whole bunch. And then this thin cut set also does, it's thankful for you or love you. So you have a couple options with the thin cuts. Okay, next color is avocado. And we'll stamp that out. And really just go through your stash, see what kinds of colors of cardstock you have, And as long as that colored piece is 4 by 5 1/4, then you're good to go. And there's the avocado one. And the last one, I'm going to use raspberry. So we'll get that stamped out. First one, and then the second one, and we'll skip ahead in a second. So all these supplies are currently available in my online store. Both of the stamp sets are currently available. Cardstock, some of the colored cardstock and inks are expected by the end of February and early March. But really just pick whatever colors you have on hand and go through your stash and see what kinds of colors of cardstock you have, and you'll be able to make this card. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it, and then you'll be able to find all of my videos. I appreciate you watching. Thank you.